Friday, February 13, 2026, Eastern Australia faces a major weather emergency. A powerful and slow-moving weather system is bearing down, threatening to bring some of the most intense rainfall the region has seen in years. Meteorologists are closely monitoring the situation as conditions rapidly deteriorate. Authorities have issued urgent flood warnings for large parts of Queensland and northern New South Wales. Local councils and emergency services are on high alert, preparing for the possibility of widespread flooding and dangerous conditions over the coming days. Heavy, prolonged rain is expected, raising the risk of both flash flooding and rivers bursting their banks. Some areas could see rainfall totals exceeding monthly averages in just a single weekend, overwhelming drainage systems and natural waterways. The ground is already saturated from previous storms, so even moderate rain could trigger dangerous conditions. Waterlogged soils mean that any additional rainfall will run off quickly, increasing the likelihood of landslides and road washouts. This is not a typical rainstorm. It's a multi-day event that could disrupt homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. Power outages, road closures, and property damage are all possible as the storm system lingers. Emergency services urge everyone to be prepared and stay alert. Stock up on essential supplies, secure outdoor items, and have an evacuation plan ready in case conditions worsen unexpectedly. Both city and rural communities are at risk, from the southeast coast to remote inland regions. No area is immune, and the impacts could be felt far and wide, affecting agriculture, transport, and daily routines. Millions could be affected, with travel and daily life severely impacted. Commuters may face delays, and some communities could become isolated if roads are cut by floodwaters. In this video, we'll break down which areas are under threat, how much rain is coming, and what's causing this extreme weather. We'll also look at the science behind these intense systems and what to expect in the days ahead. We'll also share direct warnings from meteorologists and essential safety advice. Stay tuned for the latest updates and learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones during this dangerous weather event. Understanding the risks is the first step to keeping you and your family safe. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take every warning seriously as this wild weekend approaches. The Bureau of Meteorology's warnings now stretch across a vast swath of Australia's east coast, reaching far inland and affecting millions of residents. This is not just a coastal event. Communities well away from the shoreline are also in the storm's path, with alerts covering both urban and rural areas. In Queensland, major population centres like Brisbane, the Gold Coast, and the Sunshine Coast are all under severe weather alerts. These cities are bracing for intense rainfall, damaging winds, and the potential for flash flooding, with emergency services on high alert, and residents urged to stay indoors. Central Queensland is also in the spotlight, with regions such as the Central Highlands, Upper Flinders, and Northern Goldfields facing the highest risk as the storm system pushes further west. Rural communities here are preparing for rapidly changing conditions, including sudden downpours and strong gusts. Inland regions and agricultural areas must also prepare for severe flooding. Farmers are already moving livestock to higher ground and securing equipment, as water levels in rivers and creeks are expected to rise quickly, threatening crops and rural infrastructure. In New South Wales, the Northern Rivers region, including towns like Lismore, Ballina, and Byron Bay, is already saturated from previous rainfall and remains under a serious flood watch. Local authorities are warning that even moderate rain could trigger dangerous conditions, with some roads already impassable. Thunderstorm warnings now extend to the northern tablelands, where the combination of steep terrain and heavy rain increases the risk of flash floods and landslides. Residents in these hilly areas are being urged to stay alert and avoid travel if possible. Warnings are updated constantly, so it's essential to check the Bureau's website or app for the latest alerts in your area. Staying informed can make all the difference, as conditions can change rapidly and new warnings may be issued at any time. Knowing your local risk is crucial for making timely decisions and ensuring your safety. Take the time to review your emergency plan, prepare your property, and stay connected with neighbors and local authorities as the situation develops. Meteorologists predict central Queensland will see 100 to 150 millimeters of rain this weekend, with some spots possibly exceeding 200 millimeters. In southeast Queensland, 50-90 millimeters could fall in just 6 hours, especially today. Thunderstorms may bring even higher local totals, turning streets into rivers within minutes. The heaviest rain will hit the coast first, then move inland Saturday and Sunday. This multi-day event means rivers may keep rising even after the rain stops. The models agree. A huge volume of moisture is set to fall, testing both natural and man-made systems. These numbers are a clear warning. Prepare for significant flooding. Take the forecasts seriously, and act now. The risk will persist throughout the weekend. This severe weather event is being driven by a stalled trough, a slow-moving area of low pressure, positioned over southern and central Queensland. This trough acts like a conveyor belt, lingering in place and disrupting the usual flow of weather systems across the region. When a trough stalls, it allows weather patterns to persist for days, rather than moving through quickly as they normally would. The trough is pulling in deep, tropical moisture from the Coral Sea, which is rich in warm, humid air. This steady stream of moisture is fueling days of relentless, heavy rain across large parts of Queensland. The warm ocean waters act as a constant source of energy, intensifying the rainfall and making the system more powerful. As this moist air is drawn inland, it rises into the atmosphere, where it cools and condenses. This process forms thick, towering clouds and leads to torrential downpours. The constant lifting of moisture means the rain just keeps coming, hour after hour with little relief in sight. Meanwhile, a second trough has developed along the New South Wales coast. This system is now interacting with the main trough over Queensland, creating a dangerous overlap. The result is even heavier rainfall along the border and into the Northern Rivers, where communities are already on high alert. Even the usually dry outback is feeling the effects. Alice Springs, which rarely sees prolonged rain, has now experienced 8 straight days of wet weather, a highly unusual and significant event for Central Australia. The landscape, typically arid, is now transformed by water. Across much of the country, the ground is already saturated from previous rainfall. This means that any new rain will have nowhere to go, quickly turning into runoff and flowing into rivers, creeks, and low-lying areas. This combination of persistent rain, saturated soils, and interacting weather systems dramatically increases the risk of flooding. Emergency services are on high alert, monitoring river levels and preparing for potential evacuations. The science is clear. This is a perfect setup for widespread, dangerous flooding across multiple regions. Understanding the meteorology behind these events helps us prepare and respond to the risks ahead. Meteorologists are blunt. This rain will likely cause flash flooding and riverine flooding. Senior experts warn that intense short bursts of rain can overwhelm drainage and turn roads into rivers in minutes. The Bureau of Meteorology has issued minor to moderate flood warnings for vast areas, with isolated major flooding possible. Major flood warnings mean towns could be cut off and lives at risk. These are urgent calls to action, not just predictions. Residents must take these warnings seriously and prepare now. The flooding threat is already real. Some areas have seen extreme rainfall. Green Pigeon in the Northern Rivers recorded 178 millimeters in less than 24 hours. Nearby towns like Mullumbimby and Yelgan Creek also saw over 120 millimeters. The ground is saturated, so any new rain will quickly run off into creeks and rivers. In southeast Queensland, 60 millimeters have already fallen, priming the region for worse to come. These early figures confirm meteorologists' warnings. For those not yet hit, these numbers are a clear warning of what's coming. Flooding has already started in some places. This is just the beginning. The urgency to prepare cannot be overstated. Flooding is the most immediate danger. Both flash floods and slower riverine floods threaten lives and property. Roads and bridges can become impassable. isolating communities and cutting off emergency services. Driving through floodwater is deadly. Many fatalities occur when people underestimate the risk. Public transport will likely be disrupted, adding to the chaos. Power outages are common as falling trees and floodwaters damage lines. Vulnerable people relying on electricity for medical needs face extra risk. Homes and businesses may be inundated, causing costly damage. Farms could lose crops and livestock. The combined risks, flooding, transport chaos, power loss, and property damage, make this event extremely serious. Authorities are taking it seriously, and so should you. The potential for widespread disruption is very high. The top advice: if it's flooded, forget it. Never enter floodwater. Prepare an emergency kit with essentials: radio, torch, first aid, documents, food, and water. Move valuables and electrical items to higher ground. Clear gutters and drains to help water flow away from your home. Stay informed. Monitor local radio and the Bureau of Meteorology for updates. Follow all instructions from emergency services, including evacuation orders. Know your safest route to higher ground or a safe location. Don't wait until it's too late to act. Check on vulnerable neighbors and help them prepare. Take pets with you if you evacuate. Even after rain stops, flood danger can persist for days. Smart preparation and quick action can save lives. This weekend will be challenging for millions in Queensland and northern New South Wales. Torrential rain and flooding are likely, official warnings are in place, and the risk is real. The most threatened areas stretch from the coast to inland Queensland and the Northern Rivers of New South Wales. Rainfall totals could exceed 150 millimeters with even higher local falls. The consequences: dangerous roads, power outages, property damage, and threats to life. Prepare your home and family now. Have an emergency kit ready. Never enter flood water. Stay informed with updates from the Bureau of Meteorology and Emergency Services. Conditions can change rapidly. Your awareness and preparation are your best protection. Stay safe, look out for each other, and be ready for a wild weekend.